A few months ago, I received a comment on one of my Your Leadership Coach videos. I think it was on LinkedIn. Now, I don't know this person at all. They might be like a second or third connection on there, but they decided to give me a piece of advice. They decided to give me a critique, if you will, for the video. Now, I want to pause for a second here. I believe when it comes to receiving feedback, that we should look for the truth in it. In fact, one of my favorite quotes is by Dawson Trotman, who says, "There is a kernel of truth in every piece of criticism. Take the time to look for it, and when you find it, rejoice in its value." Now, I will tell you, this video, it's not about receiving criticism. I've written about that before. This video is about giving effective criticism. And in my opinion, this person, there are two things that they did wrong that we can learn from so that our feedback, especially critique, can be more effective. The first thing is they gave critique with no connection. I don't know this person at all. We don't have a relationship, right? We haven't interacted before, so therefore their feedback doesn't have a lot of weight for me. You see, I think the thing we miss is that the purpose of giving feedback, especially critique, it's not to say it and kind of check off the list like, I did my part. No, like we want it to be received. It doesn't mean it has to be acted upon. That's their choice, but we want it to be reflected upon. We have to understand that critique is best received in the context of a relationship. We have to have that relational equity, that trust is built for our feedback to be received well. So that's the first mistake that this person made. The second mistake that they made is that they gave feedback in public. They easily could have sent me a private message. They really wanted me to hear this piece of feedback. You see, when we give somebody critique in public, more times than not, they're more concerned about what everybody else is thinking around them, people who are hearing this, and they get distracted from actually listening to our message. So if you want your feedback, especially your critique, to be effective, give it in private, okay? So here's our game plan. All right, there are three questions that I think we need to ask ourselves when we want to give somebody feedback, especially critique. Okay, so the first one is that why do I want to give this feedback? Why is this important? Why does it matter? We need to evaluate this, right? We shouldn't give every piece of feedback that we just think in our mind. We want to give the feedback that's really important, that will really impact that person. Okay, so that's the first question we need to ask. Why do we want to give the feedback? The second question is how do I think they're going to receive the feedback? What are some obstacles that they might have? Where might they push back, right? This is where we play devil's advocate a little bit. We try to think through how they might react to it, and that's going to help better prepare us for giving the feedback. Maybe we realize in asking that question that we don't have enough relational equity. Maybe we need to take time to build trust with this person first before we give them the feedback, okay? And then the third question that we need to ask is what's the best communication avenue for giving feedback? Can I just point out something here? Social media, 99.99% of the time, is probably not the best method to give your critique. Okay? More times than not, the best avenue is to have a conversation with this person face to face, over Zoom, or over a phone call, maybe. Okay? Well, let me leave you with our tweetable lesson. All right? Criticism is best communicated in a private setting, and it's best received in the context of a relationship.